May the Lord give this council the wisdom, discernment, and courage to serve the community. Grant also that we may act compassionately and in integrity in the best interest of this shire. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. I would like to show respect and acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land and elders past, present and future on which this meeting takes place. Thank you, councillors. Okay, councillors, welcome to our first meeting for 2024. And just before we start, may I thank those who attended the Australian Day Awards throughout the Shire on the weekend. It was great to see so many people enjoying themselves. Okay, application for attending the meeting by video link.
It's Neil, Mr. Mayor.
Neil, apologies. Application for leave of absence.
Yes, Deputy Mayor Councillor Burns has requested leave of absence.
Got a mover. Move Councillor Williamson. Second, Councillor Campbell. All in favour? Against? Carried. Public participation.
Neil, Mr. Mayor.
Councillors, confirmation of the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 18th of December 2023. Someone move. Move Councillor Clout. Second, Councillor Williamson. Questions, comment, discussion. All in favour? Against? Carried. Disclosure of interest.
Neil received, Mr. Mayor.
Nil. Okay, councillors, we'll jump straight into the agenda items. The development application community nursery on page 13. Move Councillor Watts, second Councillor Campbell. Any questions, comment, discussion? Councillor Campbell.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, thank you very much for the opportunity. Look, this has been something that's been going on for quite a while at Merriwa, and we've got some very keen horticulturists out there and those with green fingers. In fact, I think the little committee was called Green Fingers, but they are really keen on this, and they are very successful in what they do and how they grow things. So it's something that's been wanted, and I'm sure will be very much a success in Merriwa, and I'm very pleased to support it.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. I think it's great to see that block take up in a good use. Any other questions, comment? No. All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 36, councillors, is F01.1, proposed special rate variation that council notify IPART of council's intention to apply for a special rate variation in 2025-2026. Got a mover? Move Councillor McPhee, second Councillor Williamson, was it? Questions, comment, discussion? No questions, comment, discussion. Oh, Councillor Watts.
Statement. I think it's never a good time for a rate rise at any time, but this is only informing IPART at this stage. I think at the present time, this community and many communities are struggling, and it's okay for us to say it might be $20 here and $20 there, but that $20 could be putting food on the table, or could be an electricity bill, putting opportunity forward. So, however, this is not to occur yet, and I think the other thing we need to take into consideration is the fact that how do council move forward without the rate variation? I think that this is not going to happen for a few years, and I hope that the new council takes into consideration and makes sure that if this does go further, that they look at the infrastructure programs that come into play and let the community know what they're going to do with the money, or what has been done with previous monies, and what this monies will be used for, the additional money. Sorry, I lost my way. And I just think that, as I said, any special rate variation is an issue, but we also need to look to the future of the council as well, and for the Shire, and just to make sure that we take into consideration all the things that I've discussed and move forward on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Watts. Councillor Campbell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, look, I agree with Councillor Watts. I dislike rate rises, and being a landowner, it's not. It hurts quite a lot. However, I think we have to look past that, and those small increments, I think, are much better. I attended in the November, attended the Tamworth rate variation, and they're looking at 30%. And some of the other, and I was staggered at the large shire like that with a large rating base that would be looking to increase the rates by that proportion. But there's one thing that I did take from that meeting, and the fact was, one particular lady stood up and said, well, we have been elected to act responsibly, and I think this is what we've got to look at. Certainly that some things don't come our way, and certain decisions have to be made, and sometimes that they don't go to the rate in which we would like. However, I do believe that the small rate variation, that rate increase that we did have, ended up by getting 3.7. We have to keep up. We just can't stay behind in the monies that come into our shire. And I think that we need to think about this in the future, and where we're going to be at this time. So I would support that the motion.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. Any other questions, comment? Okay, put the motion up. All in favour? Collison, Williamson, Watts, McPhee, McKenzie, Clout and Campbell 4, and against Councillor Flaherty. Motion is carried. Over to page 41 is the Goulburn River Solar Farm Project Draft Planning Agreement. Got a mover? Move Councillor Campbell, second Councillor Clout. Any questions, comment, discussion? All in favour?
Yeah, it's all right, Mr. Mayor. Being out in our area out there and where that I live, while we all may have, well, I certainly have some questions regarding the whole process. However, and project, that is not the point at this stage. I believe that this is going to benefit the residents, the road upgrade and that sort of thing. And I think we're all thinking about roads, especially me anyway, and what they're going to propose. And so I think this is a good start, and hopefully that this can only lead to something much, much better for our road, and also for our town and for our area, and ultimately the shire. So I certainly support the resolution.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. Any other questions, comment? Councillor Williamson.
No, I will just quickly make a comment. I'd like to congratulate Greg and Matt's team on negotiating this. Did initially have some concerns over a slight amendment with a 20k administration fee, but I think that there's a lot of work to be done on the administration of the funding, and that has to be done because we've secured the funding. And well done to the teams involved in what is quite a substantial figure at 4.7 on the road and about 180,000 for community works. Yeah, well done. Thank you.
No more questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 77 is the request for donations. Someone like to move?
Can I move for the change, please?
Yes.
I don't know how we'd write it in the recommendation, but I think that the any funding that goes to any community group should go into community groups bank account.
Good point. Yep, I don't think there's any issues with that. So you're going to move with that small amendment? Councillor Watts? Yeah. Happy with that? Councillor Campbell, you're seconding it? All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 81, H01.1, the privacy management plan. Going to move up. Move Councillor Clout, second. Councillor Campbell. Any questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? So Councillor Collison, Williamson, Watts, McPhee, McKenzie, Clout and Councillor Campbell in favour. Councillor Flaherty against. Carried. Over to page 83. Policies for review. A mover. Move councillor McPhee, second. Councillor Clout. Questions, comment, discussion? No, all in favour? Collison, Williamson, Watts, McPhee, McKenzie, Clout and Campbell 4, against councillor Flaherty. Motion is carried. Over to page 111, which is the water series connection to Wingin Showground. Councillor Williamson, you wish to speak or something, whatever?
Oh, if I could move with an amendment to the original document there. And I'll pass this back to you, Karen. But that council further investigate grant funding to the connection or for the connection to the Wingin Showground through the village reticulation funding and provide response from the funding body. Good.
Okay, we're clear with that. And councillor Campbell, you're seconding it? Any questions, comment, discussion around it? You like to close out?
I better
Councillor
just
Williamson?
close that out. Yeah, I think this is a very worthwhile project. The project is rather a minimal project. The water line, the infrastructure is already there. Currently, the trust operators of the Crown land, which is Wingin Showground, maintain and look after all their facility. They are integral in the Upper Hunter horse, equine and bovine recreation, often using the grounds for what is becoming more and more popular sports. Outside of the camp drafting, you've got the team penning and some of the junior sports using that space. I think it is a really worthwhile asset, as at the moment they pump water from the Wingin Creek, which is variable, and if they don't do that, they currently truck water from Scone, which means we've got more trucks on our roads, on our council roads, and more danger at the site when we've got trucks manoeuvring around where we could just have a water connection. So I really I'm glad that happy for staff have put this effort in to present this. It always takes a good bit of effort for the planning, but I really hope that we can find some grant funding through funds that are currently there or through another form. I think it's a very worthwhile project. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Williamson. All in favour? Against, motion is carried. Over to page 119 is the tender 06-2023 supply of services, additional suppliers. Move councillor Watts, second councillor Clout. Questions, comment? Councillor Williamson.
Just quickly and ironically, ADW Johnson designed the village reticulation system. Were we happy with all the works that happened there? Of course, our village reticulation system didn't go ahead and was quite well under scoped. Are we happy with this contractor? And I mean, it's obviously come up, but they've done work before. I just wonder whether that was successful work in the past, and that's why they're coming up again, or what our thoughts were there.
GM.
Yeah, firstly, so that the ADW Johnson appointment to our panel means that they'll be considered for future work. Doesn't mean they'll automatically get work. They'll still go through a due diligence process with any other suppliers on our panel. My experience with them on other jobs at other councils, I've had nothing to raise any concern, so I do not see any concern with that. Staff have done the current due diligence for the purpose of putting them on the panel. So at this stage, we wouldn't have recommended them if we had any concerns.
More comment, councillor Flaherty.
Why is an additional tenderer being taken on at the moment and not using who we've already got listed on our tenderers. And I note that it's quite a tight timeframe from the 1st of February to the 30th of August. Is that for a specific project?
Councillors, we have a standing panel contract for these types of contracts that gets renewed in August each period. As new contractors come to us and seek to be considered for future work, we do an initial assessment. If they're considered to be suitable, we put them on the panel at that time. Each, is it 2 or 3 years, Rod? 2 years we renew the panel. So this will be the extension. They'll be reconsidered in the new panel after the 30th of August.
So just to add to that through you, Mayor, so it also, to answer your question, yes, it also depends on the type of services they offer, and also depends on the availability of contractors. With a lot of infrastructure works happening, there may be or may not be availability of certain contractors who could offer certain specialist, project skills. And that might be one of the reasons why we need to add, we need to review all the EOIs that we get, and then we put up in the panel. So that may be one of the reasons. Yeah.
Thank you. No more questions, comment? Well, we'll put that up. Those in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 124, response to councillors' questions, or notation only. All good? Okay. Someone like to move us into confidential? Move councillor McKenzie, second councillor McPhee. All in favour? Against? Carried.